Good morning, students. Good morning, all of you. So, before start something, again we have to see some of the appropriate behaviors which you have to follow. You have to wear masks, follow physical distancing, and maintain hand hygiene. Wear a mask properly, stay at least 6 feet from others. Wash your hands frequently, always with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. And remember not to touch your face. Do not share your food and drinks with others. So we were talking about hormones which are released by different kind of endocrine glands. Now the question is, what is hormones? So let's spend some time to understand what is hormones. So hormones mostly secreted by the endocrine glands, as I said just now, and it is carried by blood. The secretion come into the bloodstream directly, and blood it carry it to the different parts. Okay, they are chemical messenger, you can say. Why they are chemical messenger? Because hormones are nothing but the chemical substances, and they are like a messengers because they send information from one part of the body to another part, because once they left to the blood, then blood carries from one part to another part. So basically it send information from one part to another, so it's like a messenger. And as they are chemical substances, so they are chemical messengers. Now they act on specific target organ. So once they are released by endocrine gland, so they act on specific target organ. So there has to be a specific part where it has to be carried. So it is something like this. Let's suppose if you want to post a letter to your friend which is living somewhere else, so what do you then you write to a letter and put it inside the envelope and post it on your friend address to the post office box. Then they gets delivered to that address. So if you have mentioned that particular address, so the letter has to be posted on that particular address. It cannot be sent to Bombay or Pune or Chandigarh. Okay, so similarly the hormones has to reach their target site, so blood will carry it to the target site where it has to be reached. So hormones are very specific in their action. So let us look at this picture. So this is the bloodstream. Hormones are released in the endocrine gland. So if this is the target organ, so every organ is made up of cells. So this hormone reaches to this target cell. It doesn't enter anywhere, and it can destroy after its job is done, because its job to carry information from one part to another. So when it has conveyed to the target cell, the hormone will get destroyed because that was its only job. And after that, the cell get destroyed, and the changes that start taking place as per the instruction which was conveyed by the hormone. Another important thing is, it should always be present in a right amount. If it is present in less amount or more amount, both of them causes problem. Okay. So now that we have discussed about hormones, let us see what are the specific male and female hormones. Now due to the presence of these male and female hormones, these differences changes taking place, or which appear in the male and female body. So hormones play a very important role in transition between the juvenile, reproductive and senescent phases. Okay. Now as these phases changes, there are so many noticeable changes in the human body, like in male beard appearance and the body hair, as well as in female breast appearance. So there are specific hormones which causes specific changes. Now in male and female there are different hormones which are responsible for the different change. So testosterone was released in case of males from the testis of males. It also produces sperms and testosterone. So similarly in case of female there is another hormones, estrogen and progesterone. It is again produced from the ovary and which also produces ova or egg. Now this testosterone and this estrogen, it is called male sex hormone because it regulates the sexual characters. Into the presence of this hormone, they produce secondary sexual character in male like beard, facial hairs, hair under armpit and pubic area. Okay. So similarly in case of female, the presence of estrogen produces secondary sexual character in the females. This is called a female sex hormones. Testes secrete testosterone and ovary secrete estrogen, but there is another master gland. There is somebody else. They get order from the boss, then they get release. And who the boss is? And none other than the pituitary gland, which was present in the brain. So pituitary gland is the master gland. He is the boss of all other gland. So this master gland will send an instruction and command to testis and ovary to secrete testosterone and estrogen respectively. So the control is the pituitary gland, is under the pituitary gland. So when adolescents start, the pituitary gland send instruction to these, and then these hormones will be secreted, and all the sexual character will then now be gonna appear in the male and female body. So pituitary gland, master gland, then thyroid gland. Okay, so we are going to talk about all the glands in detail. Now, how exactly hormone will initiate the production of sperms and the eggs, and also how it initiate the appearance of sexual characters. First role is made by the pituitary gland, that is the master gland, which stimulate the testis and ovary. So it going to send the signal to the organs like testis and ovary. Now how pituitary gland stimulate testis and ovary? There are certain hormones which are secreted from the pituitary gland, and those hormones send the signal to the testis and ovary. So now you understand that why they are called chemical messenger, because they transfer message from one part to another. So pituitary gland send message to the testis so that it starts secreting testosterone. Okay. And who will communicate that message? That is done by the hormones. And that hormone was released by the pituitary gland. So this is how testis and ovary is stimulated. Now testis secrete testosterone into the blood because all these are the example of endocrine gland. So that they directly release into the blood. Testis produce testosterone, we secrete into the blood. Similarly, ovary secrete estrogen into the blood. So now we have testosterone and estrogen. So they will be released into the blood. Now what happens? Remember the basic function of hormones. Once the hormones release into the blood, it reach its target site. So hormones reach to the target site. That means the area where change needs to be done. Similarly, for example, estrogen is released into the female and testosterone is released into the males. And what it causes supposed to cause the development of hair under the genital area or a armpit area, the process of menstruation cycles, whichever its job it started doing, it will reach that specific target site. Okay, so that is the thing. Now once it reaches the target site, changes seen during puberty. For example, some of the changes like the breast development, pubic hair development, these are all changes, various changes which are seen. So when we talk about the changes, that is the changes which is called as secondary sexual changes, correct? So that is how we see the changes during the puberty. So now we got to know the various changes that take place during the adolescence, both in male and as well as in females. Now since we have talking about menstrual cycle, we have talking about many things. So another interesting question that arise in your mind is, let us suppose that a woman is pregnant. So by looking at her, we get to know that she is carrying a baby. Now how do we know that the baby is going to be a baby boy or a baby girl? In fact, first of all, we will not know as such. Second thing, even if it is a baby boy or a girl, do we know what decides whether it is going to be a boy or a girl? What decides sex of a child? So that is something very interesting. So let us try to understand what happened exactly inside. How women get pregnant, that is clear to us. Sperm will able to fertilize with an egg within 24 hours of ovulation, and that is when a woman got pregnant. Now the question is, the process of fertilization, in this process of fertilization, what is the thing that is decide the sex of the baby, whether it is a boy or a girl? So that is called a sex determination. So there are 50-50 chance that the baby can be a boy and baby can be a girl. So what decide that? We will have to understand it. So first of all, we have to be clear the concept of human chromosome. Now all of us have learnt about the cells, that our body is made up of cells. Human beings are the multicellular organism. So our body is made up of many cells. Now we have also studied about the structure of the cell, and each cells we have nucleus. So if you magnify this nucleus, we have a thread-like structure which is called chromatin. This condensed to form rod-like structure called chromosomes. And why chromosomes are important? So when cell form new cells, why chromosome is important? Because it contains genes, and genes contain nothing but DNA, and DNA is a genetic material. Okay. The traits, you would have seen that you resemble your father or you resemble your mother. So how this come? Because of the characters that pass from one generation to another, next generation. And how it passed on? Through our genes. And these genes are present inside the chromosome. So basically the chromosome are responsible for passing the traits from one generation to next generation. So they are extremely important. In your higher classes, when you learn about genetic, you will learn about DNA and all. Okay, what I want to explain you that every human cell is made up of 46 chromosomes. The only exception is the gametes, that is the sex cells. Every body, if it is a male, or it will have it produce male gamete. If it is a female, it produce female gametes. So what is the male gamete? Male gamete is sperms, and what is the female gamete? It is ovum. Sperm and ovum, they contain half the number of chromosome, that is 23 chromosome. That inside our body, all the cells, all the body cells, human being contain 46 chromosome, and these chromosome exist in pairs. So there will be a 23 pairs of chromosome inside each and every cell. Now, the only exception is the sex cells or the gametes, which is a specialized cell with half the number of chromosome will compare to the body cells. Okay, right? So this time this is clear that, and it is because if you look at the process of fertilization, so during fertilization what happened? The father releases the sperm and the mother releases the ovum or the egg cell, and these two fuse together to form a single cell called zygote, and it will undergo the repeated division to form the embryo, and the embryo later form the fetus, and the fetus will form the baby. So that is how the process of reproduction take place. Now, as I said, each and every cell of our body has 46 chromosome, but sperm and ovum has only 23. This has 23, this has 23, but when they both compound, the zygote has 46 chromosome, and this will undergo multiple division to form embryo. So basically it reached the same number because the zygote is any other body cell. Okay, it has 46 chromosome. So when they combine together, they give rise to a cell which has 46 chromosome. So this is clear, right? Now let us see what are those 46 chromosome. These 46, so these are present in a 23 pairs. Okay, 23. So there are 23 pairs. Now out of these 23 pairs, 22 pairs are same in male and female. Whether it is a male or female, 22 pairs are same, and these 22 pairs are called as autosomes. And what about the 23rd pair? So it is the sex chromosome which is different in male and female. So if it is a male, so in case of male, it is to be XY. Okay. If it is a male, the sex chromosome both are different from X. Both are different from each other. One is X and one is Y. And if it is a female, in case of female, both of them are identical, which is denoted as XX. Okay. So this is how the 23rd chromosome, which is also called sex chromosome, in case of male and female. So if you talk about a person who is a boy or a man, so in that person, each cell of his body will have total 46 chromosome, out of which 22 pairs will be same as female, but the last pair, that is the sex chromosome, will be XY in all the cells of his body. Similarly, in case of female, all the cells of the body, the sex chromosome will be XX. So that is the difference between male and female. So this sex chromosome determine what will be the gender of that person. That person will be a male or a female. And this sex chromosome is also determine the baby which is going to be born to be a couple. So let us see how that happens. Now female, as I said, they have a perfect pair of sex chromosome, that is XX, because both are identical. So XX will be for female. Now for male, they have mismatched of pair of sex chromosome because they both are not identical, that is XY. So Y is shorter than X. Now during the formation of sperms, these chromosomes are present in every cell. In each where is the 46 chromosome. But this man is going to release the sperm, and what did I say? It contains 23 chromosome, that is half the number of chromosomes. Inside the sperm, that is 23rd pair. One of these will exist. Either X will exist or It will contain either the X chromosome or Y chromosome. Both of them are not both of them are not present. So when I talk about sperm or ovum, it has 23 chromosomes. That is, the two pair will not exist. Only the one is exists. So this is how the 23rd pair I'm talking about. So if only one exists of the pair, so the last pair, the sex chromosome, has two different X or Y. In sperm, either the X will be present or the Y is present. But in case of female, the female will release the ovum or a X cell. So it has also 23 chromosome. So the sex chromosome, that is the 23rd, both are X. So female will always contribute X cells. So now during fusion, what will happen? The sperm will fuse with the ovum. The sperm can be X or it can also be Y. But the ovum will always be X. Therefore, this is your ovum. It will always be X, but the sperm can be X or can be Y. So this and this will combine together to form. If XX combine, then XS form, which is a girl. If YX combine, in that case XY form, which the boy will be born. So it is the sperm will decide that either a girl will be born or a boy will be born. That means the father decides the sex of a child. So this is how sex determines. So sperm will determine whether the baby will be the baby boy or a baby girl. I hope this concept will be clear to you. So these terms are new to you, so it might be confusing, but first try to understand what are chromosomes. Now every cell inside of our body will have 46 chromosomes. Only exception is the sperm and ovum. So now sperm contain half the chromosome, that is 23, and all the pair of chromosome will have half. One of the two will be the present. Since the sex chromosome will have two different chromosome, one is X, one is Y. So it is possible that the sperm contain X, or it also possible that it contain Y. So there are two different possibilities, but in case of female, the sex chromosome contains both the identical chromosomes. So it is very obvious that the ovum will contain only X. So now there is one possibility: if the sperm containing X, then they fuse with the ovum. And there is another possibility that if the sperm containing Y, it fuse with the X. So depending upon what contain in the sperm, it decide the sex of the child. So now if I ask you, who decide the sex of a child? Is the mother or the father? So yes, of course, it is the father who decides the sex of the child. So in India, it has often seen that in the remote areas, the people want that boys should be born. Okay. Because boys are better than girls, because in remote areas I'm talking about. So, and if the girl will born, people will start blaming the mother, and they say that it is because of her a girl is born. But mother is never responsible for the gender of a child. It will all depend on father. So father is the one who decide whether the child will be a boy or a girl. So till now we have only talked about the hormones which initiate the reproductive process, but there are many other hormones also that is called sex hormones. Now we will quickly look at the other hormones in the next video. Okay. Thank you, students.